G'day everyone, and welcome to the start of another video. This video captures the 4 days that we spent in Exmouth, and in that 4 days we shared that across 2 camping locations, one in the Caravan park and one in the overflow. Whilst there, we go out and do a bit of coral viewing on a glass bottom boat, and then we follow that up with a bit of snorkeling. We then go to Yardi Creek and we take a walk along the very picturesque Yardi Creek, and whilst in Exmouth we take a drive out to the Charles Knife Canyon, and that one you drive up on top of the canyon and you look down into the canyon. Some very colourful views there. On our way back towards Exmouth we then call into Shothole Canyon, and that one you drive on the floor of the canyon and you actually look up onto the walls, and once again very beautiful views out there. And of course we couldn't leave Exmouth without doing a sunset from the Lighthouse. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. Joining us on the big lap with their own van are our good friends Michael and Janice. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. As mentioned at the end of the last video, we're going to show in this video everything that we did while we're at Exmouth. It was a little bit disjointed there. Even though we had 4 days or 4 nights in Exmouth, we really only had 2 free days that allowed us to do very much, but we got down to the town beach, or the swimming area, the main beach, and a great lawned area here. Plenty of barbecues and under shelter covers, great for a family day out. Exmouth has a very large marina, and that supports the prawn fishing industry within the area. The Exmouth area is a very popular destination for recreational fishing, and it draws tens of thousands of anglers each year. As we walked around the marina and viewed the area, it was amazing how big these boulders were that they've used to create the walls and build the marina. The housing developments along the marina offer a range of housing options, including apartments, houses and holiday rentals. Western Australia's longest single-span footbridge can be found here at Exmouth, and that was constructed at a cost of $4.8 million, and it can withstand wind speeds up to 353 kilometres per hour. Sitting outside Exmouth's local bakery enjoying some pastry items, being carefully watched by a few feathered birds. With our first full day in Exmouth, we devoted that time to spend on the Ningaloo between Exmouth and Yardi Creek, and it was there that we did a coral viewing and snorkeling experience. With our experience due to start at 9:30 in the morning, we made our way directly out to the Biddy jetty, and it was there that we were going to board our vessel that was going to take us out into the Ningaloo Reef area. With all the tour boats leaving from this jetty, it became quite busy in the car park, and you can see now the boats out on the water. They're all loaded and ready to take their passengers out for the day. The boat that we'll be in today is now approaching the jetty. It's the one closest to the camera as we look now, and before long we're seated in the bottom of the boat, ready for our day out. The boat that we're on today is a purpose-built semi-submersible glass-bottom boat, and it's the only boat of that kind in Western Australia, and that allows great views like this one to let us look out through the glass bottom and view these turtles and the corals as the boat slowly makes its way along. We spotted a number of turtles today whilst we were coral viewing, and one what I think was a reef shark, number of fish of course, and lots of coral. Now the coral that we did see is not colourful like it is, we assume, at the Great Barrier Reef, but still very nice to look at. Out of our 2-hour coral and snorkeling experience today, we would have spent approximately 1 hour, maybe a little bit longer, viewing coral, and then we moved on to the snorkeling. Snorkeling the Ningaloo Reef was something that we both Sally and I wanted to do for a long time, so we can tick that one off the bucket list, but unfortunately it wasn't a great experience for us. Sally wasn't really contented with putting her face into the seawater. She's not a fan of the ocean either. But for me, with my back, it hurt my back, and as I swam in the water with flippers on, but we've done it now, so we can move on. Once we'd completed our coral viewing and snorkeling experience, we made our way to Yardi Creek, and it was there that we had a picnic lunch before walking along Yardi Creek. Now looking at the infamous Yardi Creek crossing where all the caravanners and four-wheel drivers get bogged if they don't know what they're doing, but plenty of soft sand around today. For those that didn't want to tackle the soft sand, there was a chicken track, but that entailed driving through some seawater. The walk that takes you up alongside Yardi Creek is a very picturesque walk, and it is a Class 1 walk. So nothing strenuous at all to be done during that walk, and it's a 1.2 kilometre return walk. At the very beginning of the walk, you finish up going past this little pontoon here, and that's where, if you want to do a cruise for Yardi Creek, that's where you'll board the little cruise boat. As we continue up the side of Yardi Creek, you can turn around and look back towards the mouth of the creek where it meets the ocean, and the view is very colourful with the different colour blues of the water as you're looking back. When we reach the end of the walk that we're doing on this current walk, you come here, you've got the seating that you can sit down and admire the great views. Should you want to continue on that, It then becomes a class 4 walk, and that will take you further up along the creek. As we started to make our way back towards Exmouth, we called into some of the campgrounds and beaches along the way, and the first one that we stopped at was Osprey Bay. It would be great camping by the water along the bay here, listening to the waves crashing into the beach whilst you're trying to go to sleep at night. The next place that we stopped at on the way back was an area called Mandoo, if I pronounced that one right, and I've put this one in here just to show you that everything on the Ningaloo is not all blue water and fine sand. This one's got a rocky pebble ground cover here, and perhaps that's because of the water that must come down out of the hills that washes up into the ocean. While we're out walking around on the rocks, we were a little bit dumbfounded when we seen these things down in the water. They are live creatures. We're not sure what they are. If anyone can shed any light on it, I've got the yellow arrow pointing to one here. Just leave it in the comment down below and let us know what they are. The next area that we stopped and had a look at was an area called Turquoise Drift. And this one was very, very pretty, probably the favourite one that we've seen on our way back, or actually that we've seen for our entire period in Exmouth. Beautiful blue water and very clean white sand. Reading the signs as we entered the area, it's basically got three sections. One is a drift current that pushes into the point here, and then of course you got the area in the point, and then you got this very protected bay that the drift must take you to. But we were watching the water against the shore when we were walking back, and some of the water is moving very quickly, so you'd want to know what you're doing, otherwise you might get into a bit of a rip and start to get into a state of panic. Directly down from the lighthouse that you can see up on top of the hill, we called into this viewing area here and we thought, there's an ice cream van, let's have an ice cream. But $22 later for two ice creams, well, he's got to come out and make money, I suppose, but we thought that was quite expensive, but very nice ice cream all the same. Once we'd finished eating our ice creams, we thought we'd go up to the lighthouse and just have a look at the lookout that was up there. From the lookout at the lighthouse, you can view the sunrise coming up over the water, and then if you're up here during a sunset, you can watch the sunset go down over water as well. One of the few locations that you can see both sunrise and sunset come up and go down over water. During the morning of our full second day in Exmouth, we took a drive out to Charles Knife Canyon, and then on the way back we went into Shothole Canyon and had a look at both areas there. Once you turn off the main road to go up into the Cape Range National Park, there is a sealed section of road, but then it will turn to gravel. The day that we went out to Charles Knife Canyon, the dirt road was in good condition, making it quite easy for a conventional vehicle to travel on the road. The road that takes you out to the canyon, you're up on top of the canyon all the time on this one, and there are some very nice advantage points that allow you to get some great views as you look down into the canyon. Between Charles Knife Canyon and Shothole Canyon, the Charles Knife Canyon is certainly the easier of the two to drive into and around, and it's got the most picturesque views on offer. We drove as far into the Cape Range National Park as the road would take us, and that brought us to a capped well here. And this well was drilled in 1955 to a depth of 4,692 metres before they found it not viable. From the cap well, we then went to the Thomas Carter Lookout. And if I'm correct in saying this, this is where the walk starts that will take you through to Shothole Canyon. With the views in Charles Knife Canyon being beyond our expectations, as we started to head back towards Exmouth, we thought we'd go up into Shothole Canyon and have a look at that one. At some stage there has been a fire that's gone through this canyon. We don't know how long ago, but it was very obvious that it had been burnt out, and perhaps that might be some of the reason whilst it looks so bare. That we're not quite sure of, but the further you go in, the prettier the canyon becomes. Unlike the Charles Knife Canyon, which you're driving up on top looking down into the canyon, the entire drive on this one is along the floor of the canyon. So often when we're out filming places such as this one, the camera doesn't really do it justice, and there's almost a little bit of wow factor when you get right to the end where we are now, and just the colours within the hills, it's really amazing to look at, and I don't think the camera really did it full justice. There is a short walk that will take you up to a elevated viewing area, and that will give you nearly a 360-degree view of the canyon. It was our final night in Exmouth, and we thought why not take that short drive that was going to take us out to the Lighthouse and have a look at one of those beautiful sunsets that everyone talks about. There was a big number of people that had come to watch the sunset this afternoon, and by the time the evening was getting closer, there wasn't much parking room left up there at all. There's a lot of thick heavy cloud up into the sky, although the camera doesn't really show it looking that way, but we were wondering whether perhaps too much cloud was going to block the sunset out, and it almost did. But we got a little bit of yellow and orange, and it was the best we could find during this one sunset that we're going to view. With the late afternoon light, it did allow us to see these 3 rigs sitting out on the water's surface. Good morning everyone, and welcome to a cool gloomy day here in Exmouth. It's our last morning, so just had a shower. We're going to pack up and start to make our way down south, go past Coral Bay. We'll have a look there on the way past, but that'll be the start of the next video. So until that video goes up, you take care and look after yourself.